Hello ladies and gents, this is another video brought to you by Ants Hood, and today I'm going to do an all-round update on the old ant cave and what ants I've got cutting around. So you might be interested to see what I'm covering. So today I'm going to cover my Camponotus paresis, my Mesa articulatus, if I pronounce that right, probably not. Camponotus exibang, maybe. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one. And of course, without forgetting, my cheeky Nicos, or my Camponotus nicobarensis. Now, as my background is my Camponotus paresis, I might as well keep that picture up. Now, these ladies have really been slow development for me. They've not been too great, to be honest. They've been slow, they've not been reproducing much. The queen is so sensitive beyond belief. I can't tell you, she's a right pain in the bum. Now, if you look at this setup here, I've got the Ant Boy blackout nest with a probe in it, so you see the temperature is 25 degrees, the humidity is 47 degrees, which is about right for Camponotus, and the test tube's still there. And I've got a little outworld as well, which is, I love those outworlds, they're great for bigger species. Small species pants because they get out, but larger species are awesome. Now, as you can see from this video here, it's got an egg stuck to its butt. Now, as you can see from this video here, they're still in the test tube. Now, this has been connected to the Ant Boy outworld nest for as long as I can remember. And they just refuse to move into the nest. They're quite happy in the test tube, and to tell you the truth, I'm kind of at the mindset these days where why force them move out of the test tube? If they're happy in it, leave them. I mean, they've got the option in the nest, it's there. I keep the nest at about the right temperature, about the right humidity. As you can see, the test tube's not heated at all, but they still choose to stay in it. Why? I don't know. I have got plans to swap out this nest to one of my own purpose-built foundation nests that I'm currently designing and building, but more about that in the future. It's also worth noting I'm probably going to heat the test tube thinking about it now, because she's got young eggs and she's had some before but they've not developed, so I think temperature might be the issue, so I'm probably going to start heating the test tube up as well now. This is my Mesa articulatus. I've put them on my channel once or twice, but they're still establishing, so I don't disturb them much. I kind of leave them to it. They don't come out into their outworld much, but they get in there and they're still growing, so I'm quite happy. Growth's a bit slow. I've had them about 6 months or so, and I've only got about 20 workers, but I've still got brood. It's a 2-queen setup because it's one of the few messes that can have 2 queens. As you can see here, a nice bit of brood there too. Now, they're still in their foundation stage, so I'll leave them to it because messes are super sensitive. They are classed as a beginner species, but they take a while to get established and they're very hit and miss. So I've kind of left them to it. That's why they don't feature much on my channel, but they seem to be doing all right, so I'm quite happy. Now, they're still in the test tube, and because they're so sensitive, I've attached it to the outworld so they can collect the seeds as they wish. This is so I don't have to disturb them when I need to feed them and things like that. As you can see here, they're sat next to my paresis, and those 2 little test tubes are my bicolour messes that I've not featured on my channel, but if you're on my Instagram, you'll see a picture of them. Yet again, they've only just come out of hibernation, they've got no eggs, I am not touching them for love nor money. And the nest in the corner is just a random nest I don't use. Right, I'm going to butcher this. This is my Camponotus exibang. Ugh. If anybody wants to teach me how to pronounce Latin, please leave a comment on this video and I'll get right back to you, because I cannot pronounce Latin to save my life. I can barely read English, never mind Latin words, and then try and pronounce them. I suck. Now, I took this video when I first got them and they came in the post, I think it was early December. And you can see here, they're probably one of the most hairiest ants I've ever seen in my life. But they're quite pretty as well, and they're quite large. Larger than I expected. Now, currently, they're in the ant hut modular nest, as you can see here. Now, I like these little nests I've talked about before, so I won't go into too much. Yet again, I kind of struggle to stabilise humidity with it, but it is where it needs to be for them at the moment. And that's hooked up to the Ant Canada portal, as you can see here, with a test tube in it. Now, if you want to buy one of these, some idiot is selling them on not Facebook, even eBay for over £100, just that little portal. Go fish, I don't know. Now, if you're on my Instagram, you would have seen these already, but I haven't put them on my channel till now. I don't think they're going to last. She's not producing eggs, it's been 2 months, so I've got my concerns. I'm not sure if she'll be okay. She's not really taking protein at the moment. They don't seem to be foraging at all, so I'm worried about them, for sure. Now I'm not even going to try and attempt it. I've got those ants. Those 2 big words, which I can't pronounce, I'm not even going to try and butcher. I've got them. Now that's what she is. Now, by all means, crack on. Now, look at her. Just just look at her there. She's not your conventional shape ant that we're all used to, like my Campernotes and stuff like that. She looks slightly different. Obviously she's still an ant, but I just can't stop looking at this video because I took it when I first got them, when she was still in the test tube. Well, it's in the test tube now, I've just swapped it round. And she's just gorgeous, absolutely pretty. Now, both the queen and the worker, because I've got a queen and one worker, both forage for food. So the queen's semi-claustral. So to that end, what I've done is I've put a test tube in a outworld. Now they don't climb glass or plastic, so I don't need to worry about a barrier, but I've put them in the Antboy cylinder outworld, which for filming is absolutely nightmarish, but it's the only decent one I've got. Now, I've not done a care guide or care video for these ladies yet. They're only like one worker, one queen. Now, she has got 2 larvae, which is great news. I can't take a picture of it because the outworld doesn't allow me to get my phone in to have a look at my macro lens, and every other lens I try to use to zoom in on it, you can't see it. But I guarantee you, I've had my face in it and I can see 2 larvae. Now, which is great news. They don't get very big, they only get about maybe 100 workers or so, but when they get a bit bigger, I'll do a care video. But as you can see here, I've got the temperature, humidity written on there if you don't already know it. And just in case anybody leaves a comment in this video, I am aware that my writing looks like a 5-year-old with a crayon, and I can live with it. Now, when I first got them and put them in this outworld, they didn't know what was going on, and they were moving the egg everywhere. But look at the size of the egg, it is huge. Compared to the size of the adult, it's absolutely massive, way bigger than what you get from anything like a Campernotus or anything like that. In fact, you've seen one with a Campernotus with an egg stuck to its ass earlier. So comparatively speaking, the egg's massive. Now, really happy that I've got 2 brood with this now. I just wish I could get a picture for you. So hopefully going forward, I will. And if I can, I'll make sure that I put it on a video. Now, how can you not love my Campernotus nicobrensis colony? It's actually exploded in like the 14 months I've had them, from 9 workers to well over 3,000. Awesome, but they're pains in the bums and they're at it again. As you can see here, look, they've got through another plug. As you can see from the plug here, it's hollow in the middle, so you've got the stopper right at the end. Because I put the cotton wool in it, they couldn't get out past the cotton wool, and that's when I noticed that they'd done it again. Now, if you go to the top right corner now, that's when they first time had chewed through it, and then from that time of putting this replacement in, they've chewed through this one again. As you can see here, they've just absolutely annihilated again. I've got it next to a normal one so you can see it for comparisons, but they've destroyed it again. Now, I've speeded this up so you don't have to watch it all as I go through the bottom of it, but when you've got a big colony, trying to clean it out is a pain in the bum. And putting a new barrier up as well. I mean, you'll see this and you can see I'm constantly pushing them back in because on the cotton wool and on my hand and everywhere. It doesn't matter, I've put some fresh honey in to try and distract them, but as you can see, they just go crazy. Now, I've done this before in a video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. But I start off with one side, get the barrier up, then move myself around. Otherwise, if I clean it all off first with this amount of Nicos, they'll be all over the place. As you can see here, I'm constantly pushing them back in because they're just constantly at it. Now, I'll never stop them getting up the silicone because the barrier doesn't work on the silicone. And this is the Antboy clear stuff. It's really good, but it won't work on silicone. And to tell you the truth, I don't know what does. If you do, other than like baby oil or something like that, let me know. As you can see here as well, we've got my liquid feeders. Now, I designed these from scratch. I've designed them to fit the Biformica bottles, so they do take inspiration from the Biformica, but I designed them from scratch myself. Now, I've designed it so they shouldn't allow smaller species into the bottle. Now, I've tried them on my Nodder, my Pheidole noders, and have not been able to get inside it that I'm aware of. If they do, they haven't chose to. So that's my inspiration behind it. So large species can still feed, small species shouldn't. I'm not saying they won't, but they shouldn't be able to get inside it. So check them out if you're interested. They're on eBay. Contact me on Facebook or Instagram, and you have to pay the 10% eBay fees. Here's me waffling on about my feeders, and I've moved on to the next outworld. Now, this outworld, you might know, is one where I do most of my feeding. Now, the reason why I did most of my feeding in this outworld was because it wasn't too busy with ants, and they would come in there, they'll forage, and they'll generally go back into the other outworlds or into the nest. But as you can see here, with the difficulties I've got putting the barrier on again, they're all over it. They've swarmed it. It's not just this outworld, it's the other 2 outworlds as well. It's all busy, it's full of ants. Now, it's getting too much of a pain in the bum. Now, I really need to get a new outworld for it, but unfortunately, because I've broken my arms, I can't do overtime at work because I'm still off sick until the 8th of February, believe it or not. so I can't go to work yet, and I can't earn the overtime to get more ant funds. So I'm gonna have to wait, but it's definitely on the books. I need to get a new Outworld. I want to get a really large Outworld. I'd love to get one of those, like a custom large Outworld. If anybody knows that does them fairly cheap, drop me a holler, because I need a big one. I'm also need a new nest as well, but I'm kind of working on the nest because I'm working on my own Camper Notice design nests, which hold the humidity at the right levels without me needing to worry about it too much, which I'm always piping on about in my product reviews if you've ever seen them. If you haven't, check them out. The link's up in the top right corner for the channel for my product reviews. And also, you've just seen the Hoover. This Hoover is awesome. It's a keyboard Hoover, cheap off eBay, like a tenner. Check out my housekeeping video in the top right where I actually talk about it. But it's great for sucking up escapees because it doesn't actually hurt your ants, and it makes cleaning up super easy. If you haven't got one, you need to get one. Now, you guys know I love a good time lapse, and that's what I've got going on here. Now check out the middle cockroach, which I've pointed out, and just watch them go to town on it. This is only over about a 10-minute period, and yet in that 10-minute period they managed to cut through the exoskeleton and pretty much cut it in half and then ship it off to the nest. Monsters, absolute monsters. Oh, and before I forget, don't forget about the Colonial Antcast, our little podcast that I do with JB from the Colonialist, Jake from My Living World Ants, and Alex from Ant Holler Fufa. Foreign names, I can't pronounce them. Grrr. I do have to point out, I am dyslexic. This is why I struggle so much with foreign names, because I'm not used to them. But anyway, excuses over. That's it for today then, guys. I hope you liked this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.